Why intelligent people enjoy being alone. The Stoic secret behind solitude. Why do some of the smartest people in history spend so much time alone? Marcus Aurelius, Isaac Newton, Nikola Tesla. Many of history's greatest thinkers shared one unusual habit. They valued solitude. Not because they hated people, not because they were lonely, but because they understood something most of us never do. The world constantly demands your attention, but your greatest ideas are born in silence. In today's world, being alone is often mistaken for weakness. People assume that if you're by yourself, something must be wrong. But what if the opposite is true? What if your ability to enjoy solitude is actually one of the greatest signs of emotional intelligence? Today, you'll discover why intelligent people protect their alone time, and how Stoicism can help you transform solitude into one of your greatest strengths. Stay until the end, because the final lesson may completely change the way you see being alone. Introduction. Imagine waking up tomorrow with no phone, no notifications, no endless scrolling, no constant noise, just silence. For many people, that sounds uncomfortable, almost frightening. Why? Because modern life has trained us to fear stillness. Every empty moment is immediately filled. Music, videos, messages, news, entertainment. We rarely allow ourselves to simply exist. The Stoics believe this constant distraction weakens the mind, because a distracted mind cannot truly understand itself. Marcus Aurelius often withdrew into quiet reflection, even while carrying the enormous responsibility of ruling an empire. He once wrote that, "Nowhere can a person find a more peaceful retreat than within their own mind." Think about that. The most powerful man in Rome wasn't searching for peace and wealth, or status, or applause. He searched for it within. That is the true purpose of solitude, not escape, but self-discovery. Part 1. Solitude is different from loneliness. Many people confuse these two words, but they couldn't be more different. Loneliness is the pain of feeling disconnected. Solitude is the joy of being comfortable with yourself. One drains your energy, the other restores it. Imagine sitting alone in a quiet forest. The wind gently moves through the trees. Birds sing in the distance. No one is asking anything from you. No one expects a reply. No one is judging you. In that moment, you begin hearing something you've ignored for a very long time, your own thoughts. At first, that silence may feel uncomfortable. Your mind races, old memories appear, unfinished worries return. Many people mistake this discomfort as proof that solitude is bad, but it isn't. It's simply the sound of a busy mind finally becoming audible. The Stoics understood that before you can master your thoughts, you must first be willing to face them. And that can only happen in moments of genuine solitude. Being alone doesn't reveal weakness. It reveals what's already inside you. The question is, are you brave enough to listen? Part 2. The world is designed to distract you. Take a look around. Every app wants your attention. Every notification demands a response. Every advertisement tells you that happiness is just one purchase away. The modern world profits from distraction. Because a distracted mind rarely asks meaningful questions, it simply reacts. Scroll, click, swipe, repeat. Hour after hour, day after day. Without realizing it, many people become strangers to themselves. They know what celebrities are doing. They know what's trending online, but they don't know who they really are. The Stoics would see this as one of the greatest dangers of modern life. Not because technology is evil, but because constant distraction leaves no room for reflection. Reflection is where wisdom grows. Without reflection, life becomes automatic. You wake up, work, scroll, sleep, repeat. Years pass, yet nothing truly changes. Intelligent people understand something different. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is disconnect. Because when external noise becomes quiet, your inner voice finally has a chance to speak. Part 3. Solitude builds self-respect. Imagine spending one full day completely alone. No one praises you. No one criticizes you. No one notices your achievements. Would you still feel valuable? This question reveals the foundation of your confidence. Many people depend on attention to feel worthy. Compliments become emotional fuel. Likes become proof of success. Approval becomes an addiction. But what happens when all of that disappears? Emotionally mature people already know the answer. Their value was never borrowed from others. It came from within. The Stoics believed that character should never depend on an audience. A good person remains good, whether someone is watching or not. Solitude teaches this lesson beautifully. When no one is there to applaud you, your actions become honest. You exercise because it strengthens you. You read because it expands your mind. You work hard because excellence becomes part of your identity. Not because someone else might notice. That is the beginning of true self-respect. The moment your habits no longer depend on recognition, you've taken a giant step toward freedom. Because freedom isn't doing whatever you want. Freedom is no longer needing someone else's approval to become your best self. Part 4. Why great thinkers protected their alone time. History reveals an interesting pattern. Many of the greatest minds intentionally created space for solitude, not because they rejected society, but because they understood that deep thinking requires silence. Imagine trying to hear a whisper in the middle of a crowded stadium. Impossible. Now imagine standing alone in a quiet room. Even the smallest sound becomes clear. Your mind works the same way. When it's surrounded by constant noise, important thoughts are drowned out. But in solitude, ideas begin to connect. Problems become clearer, emotions settle, creativity awakens. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his reflections in the middle of celebrations. He wrote them during quiet moments. Those moments allowed him to examine his own thoughts instead of being controlled by them. The Stoics believe that if you cannot spend time peacefully with yourself, you'll spend your entire life depending on distractions. Because silence exposes who you really are. And while that can be uncomfortable, it is also where transformation begins. The strongest people don't fear being alone. They fear becoming strangers to themselves. Part 5. How to use solitude to become stronger. Solitude becomes powerful only when you use it intentionally. Being alone while endlessly scrolling your phone isn't true solitude. It's simply another distraction. Instead, try these simple Stoic practices. First, spend at least 20 minutes each day without any digital distractions. No phone, no music, no television, just you and your thoughts. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. That's normal. Your mind is learning how to be still again. Second, keep a journal. Write down your thoughts, your fears, your mistakes, your victories. Marcus Aurelius did this throughout his life, not to create a book, but to create a better version of himself. Third, ask yourself better questions. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can this teach me?" Instead of asking, "Do people like me?" ask, "Do I respect the person I'm becoming?" Those questions gradually transform your perspective. Finally, learn to enjoy your own company. If you can find peace while alone, You'll never depend on the presence of others to feel complete. And that's one of the greatest forms of freedom a human being can achieve. Conclusion. Being alone doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you're unlovable. It doesn't mean something is missing. Sometimes, being alone is exactly where you discover everything you've been searching for. The world will always be noisy. People will always compete for your attention. But your greatest strength is built in the quiet moments that nobody else sees. Remember this: loneliness says, I have nobody. Solitude says, I have myself. And when you truly become comfortable with yourself, no rejection can break you. No criticism can define you. No crowd can control you. Because you've already found the one relationship that matters most, the relationship with your own mind. If you're ready to embrace solitude as a source of strength instead of fearing it, leave one word in the comments: solitude. Let it remind you that your greatest growth doesn't always happen in the spotlight. Sometimes it begins in silence. If this lesson inspired you, subscribe to Stoic Mindset for more timeless wisdom on Stoicism, psychology, and building an unshakable mind. Because those who learn to enjoy their own company never truly walk alone.